Hey friends, so I'm back with a book review, or two book reviews. I read the Book of Magic and the Occult, and then I also read A History of Magic, Witchcraft, and the Occult. So this one is made by the National Geographics, and the cover is cute. It has a ton of pictures, um, semi-small writing, but it wasn't bad to get through. It has a ton of like little clips of information is what I want to say. It's almost like each page is talking about something different in magic. It didn't like go super in depth with most things that were mentioned in here, but it was a super awesome book, and I think it touched a lot of spiritual paths and breaking them down like into where it's coming from, and I really appreciated that. And that other representation besides just like European was represented in this book. And if you're into learning about magic and things like that, I would highly recommend this book. It is a lot to read, it is a lot to get through. I did it in a week. I think it was like 50 pages a day to finish it in a week, I want to say, which was a lot. But if you're able to like slowly go through it and everything like that, that is perfect. Like maybe read it for a month or a couple of months, a couple of pages at a time when you're bored or whatever. Um, and it will be a really great book. This one here had also a lot of information. A really pretty book, lots of pictures. It had a lot of information in here. Some of the information between the two books was similar, but for the most part, they're very, in my opinion, or from what my little pea brain can remember, very different. This one does go a lot in depth, and it focuses mainly on European magic. They do toss in other culture stuff just to kind of say like, oh, in this area it's similar to this in the European magic. They don't specifically say that, but that's how it kind of comes across. Like, and they'll be like in Africa, in Mexico, or wherever, they also do blah 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 blah. And they did have a few like key pages. I know that they talked about like voodoo. I know they talked about a little snippet of like Marie Laveau, and I want to say some Aztec magic. But the overall, that like there's like, this book was 301 pages, and out of the 301 pages, there may have been like 6 to 10 pages like with information about stuff other than like European magic, I want to say. So most of it is about European magic. If you're into European magic, this would be a great, perfect book for you. Highly recommend. It did have a lot of information, a lot of cool things. But if you're like looking at this and thinking, oh, I'm going to learn something about all types of cultures and stuff, this isn't really the book for you. I would go more with the Book of Magic and Occult. But that's just how I felt. I had a harder time getting through A History of Magic. I don't know if it was just um the things that were going on throughout my day, because I had to end up literally, I'm trying to give myself 7 days. So like I read like the first day and then maybe 20 pages on the second day, because I think I was reading 45 pages of book on this one. So the first day I was able to read. Second day, I was able to read like 20 pages. And then I had to hurry up and finish everything like within the last, or maybe I read a little bit more. I don't know. But like the last 2 days, I read almost like 100 pages each. So it's not a super hard read. I was able to get through like 100 pages each day for 2 days. But it's just like kind of boring because it's more like historical type things. And then for me, not that I can't learn about European magic, but I was just really going into it hoping that it was, because I don't even look at the table of contents. I just seen magic order by breed. Um, that it was going to talk about different, you know, magic systems and, magic for different parts of the world and things like that. That's what I wanted to learn about. I wanted to learn about everybody, not just one. So when I realized, like, oh, this is basically just about one type of thing, then it was kind of like a bummer. So, but it goes through the history of that. It talks a lot about the Kabbalah and or it mentions a lot about the Kabbalah and the Hermetic magic, I think it is how you pronounce it. So it mentions that a lot, but it doesn't go into like super great detail. It gives you like a general outline of what it is, but not like s- like I don't know. You'd have to get like a different book to learn, more about that if that's what you're into. But yeah, so in a nutshell, I like the Book of Magic and Occult better than I like A History of Magic by DK, which is sad because I love me a DK book, but whatever. Um, for this little matchup that I was trying to do, the National Geographic's won me better. I just felt like it touched a little bit more on more types of magic. And I learned about more magic, like cultures magic, or that there's other culture more cultures that are out there that practice magic via this book, via the Book of Magic and Occult by National Geographics. So do with that as you will, and into the next one. Have a good one.